Welcome everyone. It's good to see all of you again. I appreciate for you guys taking the time to log in here for another edition of Yes to Malaysia. Ask Me Anything as we are streaming live from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. As always, I am your host, Ahmad Rizal from Education Malaysia Global Assist EMGA, and this show is also sponsored by our academic partners, Taylor's University. Well, if all of you who are still wondering who Taylor's Universities are, well, they are the #1 private university in Malaysia. And because they are part of the show tonight itself, they will be giving out, as always, as even in the past shows, they have been giving out 7,000 bursaries to lucky subscribers who have submitted questions or who are tuning in now live with us. Okay, as always, the show is only a very short, concise, and sweet. Will be roughly about 15 minutes. We'll go through as many questions as possible, and we hope that everything will be great as we complete this session towards the end of it. Okay, now let's move on to the first question for tonight. Okay, let's see who is it from. All right, it's from Ramesh. A very interesting question here will be, how can I test my English language for admission? Okay, now I think English is a prerequisite for any students that is coming to study in Malaysia itself. So if you're planning to come to Malaysia, you must have certain standards of English proficiency. If you come from native speaking countries of English, or if you've done in your high school English, there could be some exemptions for you, but it's mandatory by the Malaysian government that all students need to fulfill certain English proficiency, things like IELTS and TOEFL. So where can you do all this? Most of the countries, whether you're from the Middle East, whether you're from Africa, whether you're from Asia, there are IELTS, especially IELTS testing centers as well as TOEFL testing centers as well. Go and enroll for one of these programs, okay? There are, like I said, there are many scattered throughout the world. All you need to just Google IELTS and TOEFL, get the relevant scores. So it's also important for all of you to be aware of the entry requirements of proficiency level. So which means, what I mean by this is that you need a certain band. For example, some programs will require you to have IELTS 5.0. Some will require you 5.5, 6.0. So you need to be aware of this band and work towards preparation of getting this band so that you can enter into your program. If you're looking at a postgraduate option, most of the time it's IELTS 6.0. Some of them will require even up to 6.5. Undergraduate programs are normally at 5.5, okay? 5.5 and above. Okay, so how can you do your testing? Well, there are many ways. There's one of the ways that we do offer testing also. So if you are from Saudi Arabia, you may talk to any of my team at EMGA, and we will be able to also try to help you with the testings of your English. All right. So yeah, you could try to do that if you want to. Otherwise, like I said earlier on, please proceed to go to any of the IELTS centers and so forth. So you can do two ways. Either go to do the IELTS or TOEFL, or contact us at EMGA. We are also able to arrange specifically for students, especially in Saudi Arabia, to do your English proficiency test. And this is just another picture of our office in Jeddah, where students actually came over to do the test itself. My tech guys just told me there's a little bit of echo, so I apologize. I hope it's fixed now. I don't really hear the echo anymore, but if you do, just bear with me. The guys are trying to fix that and resolve that as well. Okay, moving on to our next question for tonight will be from Ismail. How much is medical expenses in Malaysia as an international student? So I'm assuming, Ismail, you're looking to study medicine in Malaysia, which is basically a 5-year program. So it's again a very interesting question. How much is it to study medicine in Malaysia? Well, it ranges, okay? It ranges from, I think, roughly about 320,000 ringgits right up to about 500,000 ringgit, depending on which university that you are basically applying for. But because tonight All right, like I said, the show, our academic partners are Taylor's University. I will show you a little bit about Taylor's University, okay, because they also carry a medical program, an MBBS program, which is 5 years. So if you can see just right on the top of me now here, the fee structure, it is roughly about 426,000 ringgit to complete. That's roughly about 100,000 US dollars, all right, to complete a 5-year program. You divide 100,000 by 5, you're probably looking at 20,000 per year. Okay, so that's what's the cost of studying in Malaysia. And if you're going to ask me what is the cost of living, I would safely say that on average, all right, about 500 US dollars will be sufficient to cover your accommodation as well as for your food. So coming to Malaysia is really, really very affordable. And if you're looking at a medical option, I've just showed you above here, it is by Taylor's University at about 100,000 US dollars to complete the 5 years program. Okay, let's go on. Again, money. I think this show has been revolving a lot about finances as well as money. So let's see what's the question here. It's from Yer Lazar. Okay, it says, are fees cheaper now due to online lectures? Again, very smart. It's very smart to ask this question. In fact, at the start of the pandemic, when a lot of Malaysian universities were moving towards online programs, I did even ask this question, hey, isn't your program going to be cheaper? Well, you got to look at it in totality here, okay? No, the fees will still be the same. So before whether it's a physical class or it's an online class, if the fees are 20,000 a year, it still will be 20,000 a year. But what you are actually saving is that you're saving the fact that you don't have to be in Malaysia. So you're saving things like accommodation, you're saving things like travel tickets, you're saving things of all your basic expenses that you would need if you were to come over to Malaysia. So that's already a savings by itself. And if you're still wondering, how come there's no reduction? Well, although there's no physical classes, but the universities do put in place additional infrastructure to teach you online. So there is still additional cost, even though it's an online option, because they replace a physical option with an online option, and there will be technology costs, there will be additional costs here and there to ensure that you get the best experience from the online option. So I hope that answers your question. Unfortunately, like I said, in fees alone, there is no cheaper option, but you get overall cost savings because, like I said, you don't have to be physically here in Malaysia itself. All right, and now, next question here would be, I've obtained admission from a university in Malaysia, but I'm afraid that because of COVID-19, we will not be able to study face-to-face. I think in a lot of my past sessions, we've been always talking about this, okay? And I don't blame all of you. I know that this is one of the things that is at everyone's mind. Hey, what's the situation? How's COVID? I wish to come to Malaysia. I know everyone's excited to just board the plane and come over to Malaysia, and whether they could start, especially their programs in August or in September where the major intakes are. Well, to be very honest with all of you who are tuning in, this is today's number. 20,889 new cases as of today, 6th of August. Okay, so these numbers, I'm not proud of these numbers. In fact, looking at these numbers, it's a little bit discouraging. All right. However, like I've mentioned in the past as well, the Malaysian government has taken a lot of steps. A very strong drive for vaccination is currently ongoing in Malaysia. So we hope, inshallah, by the coming weeks and months, the numbers will be going down itself. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that for August and September, there wouldn't be any face-to-face classes. So if you already made up your mind to come and start studying in Malaysia, please bear in mind that it will be an online option itself. Okay, there are a lot of resources. Like I said, I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. So all you need to do is just go on to my YouTube channel here. You could see I put a snapshot on smaller snippet videos that I've prepared. And just go to the channel here, yes to Malaysia.my, and you will see our channel. All right, just go to YouTube, just type yes with a numeric 2. All right, so it's yes to Malaysia. Go in there and you'll probably see a lot of videos that I've prepared in the past. Like even this one here that says why 14 days quarantine is necessary for international students, even though you've got 2 shots of vaccination. Okay, so a lot of tons of resources are there. All I just seek is go into YouTube, subscribe, and you will get all the updates. Every time when I come on and I give you updates, so if you want all these updates about what's happening in Malaysia, right, just subscribe to the channel itself. Okay, I think we're coming almost to the end here. Will be another question. I think this is our final question for tonight. All right, it's by Nexon. It says, my name is Nexon. I'm from Kenya. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm requesting on behalf of my son who completed his secondary high school in Kenya. He requests to pursue medical courses. And how can this help? Okay, again, another medical question. So we need to understand that if you want to apply to any medical programs, there is a prerequisite. All right. So at high school level, you have to have mathematics. You have to also take science subjects. All right. And then from high school, you then would need to progress to do something called pre-university. It could be foundation, it could be A-levels, it could be CIMP, OSMED. There are many different types of pre-university programs, okay? And then from the pre-university programs, apply to enter into a degree program for medicine or MBBS. Now, one of the processes is unlike your degree in business or degree in IT. To apply for a medicine degree or MBBS, you will need to undergo an interview. So there always will be an interview process, regardless of any university in Malaysia or everywhere in the world, right? There always will be an entry interview that you need to pass before, all right, applying to a medicine program. Okay, so if you're interested, again, there is this video. We've created this video. As you can see, it's been a year. We've got over 2,000 views. It tells you a little bit about, what are the tips to have if you want to, if you're going to attend a medical interview to apply for a medicine program in Malaysia. So this is quite a very good resource. Again, go on to my YouTube channel here. And you will see, as I mentioned to you just now, there are a lot of resources that you could basically look at. Okay, so if you're going to apply for a medicine program, get all your documents ready, ensure that you have good scores in mathematics and in science subjects, okay? Prepare for the interview, and if you need any assistance, again, my team, EMGA, will always be there to support you. I think next in the comment box, you will see that there is some numbers. You can outreach to us as well, and we will do our best to also support you with the necessary, okay? And now, coming almost to the end, we just wanted to remind all our viewers that the major intakes, especially for Taylor's University, is in August. So if you are making this final decision to come, there's still a very small window that's open that you could still apply for the August intake. Okay, failing which, if not, then Taylor's should have an October intake coming up as well. But if it's possible, go for the August intake, because that will be a slightly longer duration. Gives you less opportunity, to understand more things rather than you're rushing through a particular intake. Okay, but both intakes should be available, especially the October intake as well. And now coming to an end, as we mentioned earlier on, there will be winners who will be winning the 7,000. And as always, those questions that I've picked up just now, these are the emails. So if you are tuning in and your email is here, all right, you will be in touch, or my team will be in touch with you very, very shortly to share with you about this 7,000 and how you could redeem this 7,000 should you decide to study in Taylor's University. All right, so and this is just a snapshot of my YouTube channel itself. So I hope that you enjoyed this little session here. I apologize for the slight audio difficulty, but I do hope that you all had something useful from this session itself. And as always, I just wanted to say thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next week. Take care and good night and bye-bye.